Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Real Problems, Real Solutions. The question comes from a sister from the Arab lands, and she's saying, please talk about the situation of divorced Arab women in the Arab countries and the stigma around divorced women who need to obviously live. Specifically, she's saying divorced women, when they're divorced, abandoned. Now, we're not going to get into the reasons as to why they are divorced, but I've lived in the Arab lands for a decade, so I've witnessed this. I have been a school manager, principal, consultant. I've hired a lot of people. I've done interviews. And yes, I can confirm that there is this stigma. So personally, I confirm through my experiences that there is this problem. So some of these women, as I said before, when we talk about these sensitive issues, we cannot just blanket everything. So some of these women get divorced and they don't want to. Some of these women, no doubt, seek divorce themselves, and then they have to suffer the consequences. But today I'm going to talk about the ones who do not wish to be divorced, but they get divorced for whatever reason. And that's what the sister is kind of asking about. She says, I'm not the type of woman to just go out and start looking for a career and show the man who I am and that I can be like him. No. But due to circumstances, I've been divorced. Not only have I been pushed to the side by my husband and his family, but now my family as well, and society and some of my friends think that I am like a second-class citizen because I've been divorced. Again, you can also comment as to how is it in your society and in your culture, if you can confirm that this is kind of what it is. And when we look at culture, what is culture? In psychology, culture is defined by a set of beliefs or actions that are held by a group of people in a specific place. Cultures can differ between different organizations, different cities, even different neighborhoods. So, in certain countries, the culture is that when a woman gets divorced, and again here, I want to give the disclaimer again, so please pay attention, that these women didn't choose to be divorced. Maybe they were not bad or they weren't the cause of the divorce. They just got divorced. And yes, it does happen. So we're focusing on that right now. As for those who seek the divorce and then they want to go and be themselves and be independent and do whatever, and they want to show men and teach men a lesson, and then they suffer, and those are the consequences of their actions. And yes, there are quite a lot of those. But specifically in the Arab lands, we have this taboo where a divorced woman, even her friends and her own family sometimes looks down on her as to like, oh, you got divorced. Well, it must be like your fault, or you're just no good anymore. You have no more hope. Not everyone, but it is to an extent something that we noticed. So, but one of the things that happens is when these women now, they say, well, wait a second. My family's not taking me back. I need to provide for my children. I need to provide myself. A lot of people get angry with me and they say, oh, brother, you hate women. I keep getting these messages. Oh, brother, you hate women. Why do you hate women? What do you want us to do? To starve? You keep preaching that we should be staying at home, but my husband left me and this and that and cheated on me, and here I am. When do I preach that, just sit and suffer and starve? I preach, hey, men should take care of women. Women should stay in their place. There should be a clear dynamic and clear gender roles according to the tradition of Islam. If things go raw, then the family of the woman has to take over. The issue of the wali gets transferred back to the father. Sadly, even here, fathers, in some cases, again, not everyone, not you, I understand, fails and they just kind of say, you know what, well, I'm sorry, I've already passed it on to this guy, you couldn't hold him or whatever. Mas salama, I done enough. I got 3-4 other daughters that I got to get married to, so on your way, tawakkal Allah. So yes, the wali is also, the family is also will wipe their hands and say, I'm sorry, I cannot take care of you anymore. You're on your own. May Allah help you. Come visit us, Eid and all that, no problem. We can talk here and there, but I cannot afford to take care of you anymore. I've done my best to get you to a husband. You couldn't keep him. It's your fault. And because of that financial burden that might come back on the family and the father, that's how some fathers or walis react, that they don't want nothing to do with it anymore. They think that once I pass this, let's call it wali title to the husband, I'm done. Khalas. No, that's not how it works. As a father, you're never done. For those who have girls, I do, you understand that it doesn't end. It might be just a temporary transfer because there's no blood relation between the husband and the wife. But there's blood relation between you, the father, and your daughter. And that bonds you. You understand? So if something happens, a divorce, then it comes back to you. The responsibility gets put back on to you, and you should be proud of that. And Allah is the best providers. But to the main point though, so the sister's denied by her husband, denied by her parents or her wali, and now she is left alone. So she has to go work. I mean, who's going to take care of her? By the way, I've already talked in another video that if the father cannot, or the family is not there, the wali is not there, then it falls on the imam or the wazir or the whoever is the amir of that area in an Islamic state. But hey, look at that. We don't have this, isn't it? So it's a problem. But this woman now goes to seek her rizq, and she goes for an interview. And we did notice that subhanAllah, people start like thinking that these women are bad. They might say things. I've noticed people making suggestions. Even in interviews, like people, like you have a panel and they're like talk certain things, right? And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you saying that to her? Or complaints that are coming in. Basically, there's this feeling that this woman is desperate and I can just like say something to her and maybe I can take her in halal or haram. Maybe because she's so desperate and now she's out in the workforce looking for some rizq, I can take advantage of her. I can lower her salary. I can give her the short end of the stick. SubhanAllah, what is this kind of behavior? Again, I'm not talking about you. Maybe you're going to get upset that I'm talking about this. But if you've lived in the Arab world, there's a lot of khair, inshallah. But this is one of the things amongst others that exists there sometimes, and it's noticed. And I've noticed in some of the panel interviews that we've had. And sometimes it even leads women to feel that this is who I am. I am second class. I am used, astaghfirullah, sorry, and that's what some of the sisters have used this. I'm not saying that. Used goods. And some women even accept that and they offer themselves like that. They'll come in an interview and say, well, I'm divorced. And that's the first thing they put out there. Please help me, right? So they feel that, okay, so there's two sides. So the guy who's interviewing sometimes, or the people will say stuff, or they'll try to talk to them. I mean, cases after cases. And the woman's like, who do you think I am? Like, why would you say that? Why would you try to take advantage of me because I'm divorced? So that's wrong. And on the other side is the woman sometimes offers herself like that and uses that situation, ana miskina, mutallaqa, I am, poor, I am divorced. Come on, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? Like this kind of stuff. In an interview, like, wait a second, sister, I didn't ask you about your marital status, did I? What's the point of you saying that? What's the point of you coming so close? So on both sides, there's this mistake, but definitely for those women who are sincere and they're just trying to find the rizq and provide for their children, and it was not their choice to be divorced, this is totally wrong. The community should never abandon them, and the people who have the ability to help them should not try to take advantage of them or to look down upon them as there are some second-class citizens. And we should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not make use of these, the problems of people We are Muslims. Let us educate ourselves. If you are someone in authority, someone who can help and support, can give jobs, can take care. For example, when I was working and dealing with these things, it was an Islamic school. We had two girls' school, separate wings for girls. So that's a pretty decent environment. Okay, niqabis, separated, security, not like, everyone playing around and messing around. No. So in that case, if a woman is divorced and needs to work, hey, it can really might be a very good environment for her to do that and halal way and earn a living and even do dawah and contribute to the ummah. So again, guys, please listen to what I say. The things that I talk about are situational. It depends. It's not black and white. Pay attention to what I say in the videos. A lot of people send hate messages, and sometimes these hate messages come from you not listening to what I'm saying or covering some or most of my videos where I talk about these things to get a full picture, inshallah. So barakallah feek, if you listen up to this time, up to so far, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button to see when videos are being produced. I do tend to produce videos daily, and check the links in the description. You can support and sponsor one of these videos and many others to educate the ummah about these very important, real applications of life issues, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us. Education is the solution. I'm going to keep repeating it over and over again. For this case, education is the solution. People need to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam is the solution. Don't take advantage of people. Look for a good environment. Educate, help, support. It's not like what can I get out of it. It's rather what I can serve and give to others. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Check out again, support this dawah. For as little as $3 a month, inshallah, you can help us produce more videos, spend more time on this. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.